Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. It's the first trophy of the English domestic season and it's the Carabao Cup. It's Liverpool against Chelsea at Wembley. It's a massive game. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be doing what will be a controversial combined 11. Remember, you can do yours below, but I'm about to do mine as well as talk about this big game. Obviously, we'll have the watch along for it tomorrow. But before I get into that and some big points about how I think this game will be won and lost, I just want to say, top right-hand corner, it is spring and our friends at Manscaped have the best tools for a spring clean down there for you. Today, you can get 20% off by using the code FOOTY on the link in the video description. So what are you waiting for? It's time to go with 4 million other men who trust Manscaped to clean things up downstairs. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. So what's so special about the Lawnmower 4.0, which you can use down there to get it looking great? It's got a new multifunctional on and off switch for those people who like to travel. It's got the ability to turn the LED light on and off for a more precise shave. It's got adjustable lengths, so you can trim it at different lengths if you want to. It's sleeked with a two-toned matte finish. It's even got a lovely Manscaped sign on it. It's very nice. And of course, it's got electromagnetic induction charging system, which can lead to longer battery life. And alongside the new Lawnmower 4.0, you can get the performance package where you get the Weed Whacker, you get the 4.0 obviously, you get the Crop Preserver, the Crop Reviver, very comfy box shorts and a travel bag as well. And again, because Manscaped cares about everyone that watches That's Football, they're giving you a huge 20% off plus free worldwide shipping when you click the link in the description. Very good quality products. I actually like the Weed Whacker, which is for the nose. I love it. You hit a certain age and you don't want to be out with your mates talking about football, talking about who you think should be playing centre-back for Manchester United and they're focusing on a hair coming out your nose. You've got to groom. So trim the grass to make the yard look bigger with the 4.0. Get the Weed Whacker for the nose. Links in the description. 20% off. Really good products. And now let's get on with the show. And we're talking Liverpool against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. Who's going to show a little bit of balls? That's an extra one for Manscaped. Who will show? I think they both will. You know what? I'm really looking forward to this game. Obviously, That's Football. We're talking about football. This is not the United stands. I'm disappointed that United are not in the final, but I feel that Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City are on a different level to everybody else in the Premier League, and that's not breaking news. So sports news! Liverpool, Manchester City and Chelsea are the best teams in the Premier League by a very long way. Give me them crunchy nut cornflakes and my yellow tie. But they are a long way clear. And that's why this game's really exciting, because Liverpool against Chelsea, very difficult to say which way it's going to go. I would say Liverpool are going to be the favourites. And I suppose, before we get into the depth of the game and how I think a game will be won and lost, I would say Liverpool are the favourites because I believe that Chelsea at the moment have the best defence in the Premier League, and I think Liverpool have the best attack. Now, Man City fans are going to be shouting. You won't be able to hear them, but they are there, like a quiet little... they've got fans, I'm joking. They're not in this final, though, so we can take the piss a little bit. Neither are United. But I do feel that when I say right now, that means over the last couple of weeks. I think Chelsea have sorted their defence out. I mean, some would say it was never not sorted out, but they've got stability in their defence. They're in good form, and Liverpool's attack is really, really good. So I wouldn't say it's defence against attack, but I think if Chelsea were going to win, I think 1 or 2-0. I think if Liverpool win, they might win 2 or 3-0 because they've got the better attack. So I think it's going to be very interesting. But look, combined 11 time, let's just whiz through this because I have given it a bit of thought. Do get yours in the comments below. And please smash a like on the video and subscribe. We've got the watch along for this game tomorrow. Really excited about it. I think it's going to be interesting. The two German coaches, Tuchel against Klopp, Liverpool against Chelsea. It might, I predict, not be the only time these two teams meet this season. I don't know whether they've got to play each other in the league. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I certainly think they may well be meeting up in the Champions League or the FA Cup. So, in goal, I would go Mendy. I think a lot of people would go with Alisson, but I just think Mendy this season, I'm very impressed with him, and I prefer Mendy to Alisson. It's very close. It's like Mendy, Alisson, Ederson. It's a really tough one to do. I'm just going to go Mendy. That's my preference. I'm not even going to dwell on it because people will be screaming at me it's Alisson. Some people are going, well done, it's Mendy. I just go Mendy. At right back, Reece James isn't even fit at the moment, so I would have to say Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he's bounced back this season after a disappointing season last year. Yes, he's still vulnerable defensively, but going forward, he's fantastic, so I would go Trent. Centre-backs for me would be Van Dijk and Rudiger. Again, people might disagree with that. They might want two Liverpool centre-backs. They might be saying, where's Thiago Silva? But Van Dijk, to me, is the best centre-back in the world. I still think that. I think obviously his injury cast a bit of doubt over that, but I think he's come back. He looks absolutely solid like he did before. So Van Dijk and Rudiger, to me, I've been talking about Rudiger for a couple of years. I even had Chelsea fans talking to me about Rudiger a couple of years ago, saying you can have him. And I was like, I just think he's got the attributes I want in a centre-back. He's decent on the ball, he's strong, he's good in the air, he's quick, he reads the game well. Look, no doubt over the last year he's really started to be appreciated with his consistency, but it would be Rudiger and Van Dijk for me. At left-back, Robertson. Again, Chelsea, injury to Chilwell, still wouldn't put him ahead of Robertson anyway, and Alonso's nowhere near as good as Robertson, so it would be Robertson there for me. I'd go with the midfield three, a holder, an 8, and a more advanced midfielder. For me, it's got to be Fabinho. Now, people will be screaming it should be Kante, but I don't really see Kante as the player that sits in front of the defence. I know he can play that, and I think that people always felt that Kante was a CDM, but I want a CDM to sit in front of the defence, take the ball, dictate the ball, pass the ball. Kante can definitely do that, but I don't think Kante's passing range is up with Fabinho, and I think Fabinho is, he can play centre-back if you need him to. So I would go Fabinho there. And then I would play Kante as the box-to-box. I'd play him as the 8. The energy to drive forward, get back and support Fabinho. I think that would be a really good midfield too. I do like Kovacic, and I like Henderson. I like them both, but for me, I would put Kante there. And my attacking midfielder, well, because of what I'm going to do with the team in the front line, I would go with Mason Mount. Now, I think it's fantastic that Mason Mount would get in a combined Chelsea-Liverpool team for a start. I think there is a progression in English football, because I think, maybe 5-6 years ago, we wouldn't be really getting English players in this, really. Not well. Maybe we would. I mean, people might still want to put a Gerrard in there, etc. But I think Mason Mount deserves his spot. You could go Havertz. You could play Thiago in that position if you wanted to, I suppose. You could even put Firmino or Jota there if you wanted them to be an attacking midfielder. But for me, I would put Mason Mount in that position. You could put Ziyech there. You could put Pulisic there. There's lots of options, but for me, I would go with a midfield 3 of Fabinho, Kante and Mason Mount. Obviously, Salah's going to play off the right and Mane's going to play off the left. Chelsea have got options there, but it's Salah and Mane, and I think any combined 11 you do with Liverpool. There's not many teams, actually. There's a question for you. There's not a team in the Premier League. I'd go with Salah and Mane over what City have got. There's not a team in the Premier League that takes Salah or Mane out of a combined 11. There isn't. I mean, Son's decent, but he's not Mane. Is there a team in Europe that takes Salah or Mane out? I mean, PSG would have an argument with you, I suppose. Bayern Munich might try. I just think any combined 11 you do with Liverpool, Salah and Mane basically take those right and left spots. And then the number 9, look, Chelsea fans are going to be with me here. This should be Lukaku's spot, but it's not. You could put Havertz there, but for me, I think his season that he's had, it would have to be Jota. I'd have to put Jota as the 9, false 9, whatever you want to call them, because ideally, I want a number 9. I want a Lewandowski. I want a Ronaldo. I want a Lukaku. But there's no way I'm putting Lukaku in that team. It's just massively disappointing for Chelsea fans, I'm sure. And at £100 million, he should be. I'm not even playing a proper 9. I don't think Jota really is a proper 9. Firmino, I'd put Firmino ahead of Lukaku. I'd put Havertz ahead of Lukaku. So for me, Lukaku's not even in my top 3 options, which is disgusting for a £100 million player. So that would be my team then. Mendy, Trent, Van Dijk, Rudiger, Robertson, Fabinho, Kante, Mount, Salah, Mane and Jota. And I think it's a good team. The funny thing is, Liverpool might look at it and go, actually, I'd prefer to have our starting 11 than your combined. But get yours in below. Let me know what you think. Manager, I'm not gonna swerve that. It would be Klopp for me. I think Tuchel's done a great job. I didn't really rate Tuchel when he came to Chelsea. I sort of looked at PSG and how United had beat them, and I thought, not a massive fan. Brilliant job he's done at Chelsea, but for me, it would be Klopp. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. So, the game itself, how big are Liverpool favourites? I think they have to come in as favourites because they're above Chelsea in the league. I think Chelsea have had a few wobbles this season, whereas Liverpool look like Liverpool are in a title race with Man City, which just shows you the level that Liverpool are operating at. Many people felt that Man City were going to run away with this title, like they did last year. But I think they ran away with the title last year because Liverpool had injury problems and Chelsea only got Tuchel in January. Now, I think Chelsea would be in a title race if Lukaku had delivered even half of what he's delivered so far. He's been a massive letdown, and I think that has caused destabilisation for Chelsea. I think they've stabilised now. I think they're a bit like they were last season. You know, they're not reliant on Lukaku. They're getting their team together like last year. And they will be a threat in a game like this. And I think it's going to be, I know the Carabao Cup's not the most glamorous trophy, but it is a trophy. It might be the only trophy Chelsea or Liverpool win. They'll hope to win more, but it might be the only trophy they win. So they'll want to win this game. It's at Wembley. And you know what? Even if this was just 3 points in the Premier League, I'd be intrigued by it. So the fact that somebody's going to lift a trophy at the end of it, I'm really excited about. Liverpool will be the favourites because I just believe they're at a different level to Chelsea at the moment, but I don't think it's a massive level. I do think that it's going to be interesting because, Liverpool, Man City are going for the title. The only reason Chelsea aren't going for the title is because they wobbled over Christmas and into January. I think if Chelsea were within 3 points of City, they'd be in a title race. They're in the form to do it. So it's a hard game to call. I wouldn't be surprised if it went full 90 minutes and it's a draw. I can see a Chelsea win and I can see a Liverpool win. I can see Chelsea defending well and causing Liverpool problems, and I can see Liverpool causing Chelsea problems. I can see Liverpool winning it 3-0. I can see Chelsea winning it 2-0. It's such a hard game to call because this is like a boxing match. This is like, this is a big event. It's so hard to call. How good are Chelsea compared to Liverpool and how good are Liverpool compared to Chelsea? It's like when Liverpool play Man City next month. Hopefully that game will be very tight in the Premier League race. In fact, I'm pretty sure it will be. Is there a gap? Are they evenly matched? Or actually, sometimes they're not evenly matched. Sometimes they come in and somebody's a lot better than the other team. So my inclination is to say that Liverpool will be, who's the more likely team to come out on top? I would say Liverpool, but it's such a hard game to predict. I think the game will be won and lost in the midfield, and Chelsea's midfield is more than capable of getting hold of it. You've got people like Kante in there. Kovacic is going to be fit. They could bring Jorginho in. Liverpool, obviously, we've mentioned Fabinho. The front three of Liverpool, Salah, Mane. I don't know whether Jota will be fit, actually. That's a bit of a blow for Liverpool. And obviously, I don't think Firmino will be fit. So maybe Diaz will play. But they've got goals in them. Of course, they have. And then defensively, I just think it's such an intriguing game. I personally think 1-1 maybe at 90 minutes. And then it's anybody's. Is there extra time? Or is it? I'm presuming there's extra time and then penalties. So it could be a long game. And it might not be the best footballing game. It might be quite a even Stevens cancel each other out game, but it could come down to fine margins. It could be a corner for Chelsea that wins it. It could be a mistake at the back. Salah runs through, penalty. You just don't know, but massively excited about it, and I hope you are as well. Can't wait to see. I'm not going to sit on the fence. I'm going to say Liverpool to win it 2-1 in extra time or whatever they have. I presume there's extra time, but I think it will be a tight game. I don't think we'll see a domineering performance from either side because I just think they're both too good. And as I said, I think it may well be the prelude for what's to come. These teams might hit each other again later in other tournaments, whether it's the Champions League or the FA Cup. So I'm really excited about it. Make sure to smash a like on the video and subscribe. We will be back tomorrow with the watch along. Tune in for that. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a weird one because I'm obviously a United fan and these are rivals, but they're not really rivals. I mean, I'm sure Arsenal fans and Spurs fans feel the same. There's an acceptance. They're not rivals. Like we're not even entitled to be in the same conversation. This for me is just watching two of the best teams in England go head to head. Man United don't come into it. We're not in this conversation. We would be an imposter in this sort of game against Liverpool or Chelsea, and that is a harsh reality. So I'm looking forward to this game. And we'll see what happens. Don't forget, Manscaped, link in the video description. Get 20% off with the code FOOTY through the link in the description. Fantastic products. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.